Hello and welcome to ESAT. I am Ngudu all day with the news. The Office of the Federal Attorney General says it has dispatched teams to various parts of the country where ethnic clashes have claimed lives and triggered massive displacement. The office said in a press statement that investigations were underway against the masterminds of recent ethnic violence that resulted in deaths, destruction of property, and the displacement of peaceful citizens. The Attorney General Office said those individuals that are accused of stoking ethnic violence would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. The statement also said the Attorney General would not target suspects because of their ethnic background, but for the crimes they have allegedly committed. The Attorney General also vowed to continue with its crackdown against corruption, economic saboteurs, and violators of human rights, which the office said was crucial as the country moves forward with its political and economic reforms. At least 40 people were killed in recent weeks in ethnic violence in areas bordering the Oromo and Benishangul Gumuz regions, while tens of thousands have been displaced. A number of suspects of high-level corruption, including managers at the Metals and Engineering Corporation, METEC, have been arrested in recent weeks as the government vows to continue its fight against corruption. Meanwhile, police investigating alleged high-profile corruption by the former CEO of the Metals and Engineering Corporation, METEC, presented additional charges in which Major General Kunfe Danyo had approved purchases and contracts worth millions of dollars without tender and procurement procedures. Among a list of charges police had presented at the court yesterday include approval for the award of about $348 million to an American waste recycling company and later approving the payment of $5.6 million to the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia for servicing the loan. The charge says the payment made to the bank was a waste of funds as the project never materialized. METEC, a military-industrial complex that was run by TPLF army generals until recently, is at the center of a corruption scandal for illegal purchases and contracts awards worth $15 billion. Major General Danyo was its CEO for 8 years. He was arrested last month in Ethiopia's border town of Humera as he tried to flee the country to the Sudan. The government's crackdown against corruption has targeted high-level officials and army generals whom the government says were responsible for the embezzlement of millions of dollars, nepotism, favoritism, and mismanagement of the country's military-industrial complex. The new charges also show the purchase of construction machineries worth $10.6 million from a Chinese company without the proper bidding. Under the orders of Major General Kunfe Danyo, police also alleged that METEC had bought several buildings in Addis Ababa worth millions of dollars from individuals without legal bids. In June, a parliamentary committee has found that METEC has squandered hundreds of millions of dollars in producing machineries without a thorough study for the market for its products. The parliamentary committee found that machineries worth $326.4 million were made by METEC but were left to sit and decay at storages in Bishoftu and Adama as there were no markets for them. A senior U.S. official is on a rare visit to Eritrea, which until recently was internationally isolated and under sanctions. The BBC report said the U.S. Assistant Secretary for Africa, Tibor Nagy, has met President Isaias Afwerki, and his visit comes at a time when significant changes are taking place in the region following an end to hostilities between Ethiopia and Eritrea. Sanctions imposed on Eritrea in 2009 over allegations it supported Islamic militants in Somalia were lifted last month. Eritrea always denied the allegations. The report by the BBC also said the human rights group Amnesty International has called on Mr. Nagy to use the visit to address what it calls Eritrea's dire human rights record. Amnesty International wants the U.S. to put pressure on the government to release what it calls prisoners of conscience. That ends the news. Thanks for watching.